So good morning, this is Sir Dave, and today we're gonna talk about market equilibrium. So as you can see, I have here on my screen the demand and supply schedule for fried chicken and the graph na dinerive ko from the schedule that I've created. Andito naman siya sa right side. And this is still for fried chicken. So fried chicken kasi nakagutom na. So pag-uusapan natin ngayon yung concept ng market equilibrium at paano ba to nangyayari. Okay? Now is the time for us to have these two economic forces, which are this market of supply and market of demand, to meet each other. And when they meet, market equilibrium can be formed or can be identified. Okay? So ano nga ba yung market equilibrium? So market equilibrium is also known as the market clearing price. Okay? When you say market clearing price, it refers to a perfect balance in the market of supply and demand. So kailan natin ito masasabi? Madali lang naman when the supply is equal to demand. When the quantity supplied is equal to the quantity demanded. Yung number na willing i-supply ng mga producers is equal to the number of willing naman bilhin ng mga consumer. Diba? Ang galing? Ayan. Siyempre, at a given price. So, for example, in this situation, the market equilibrium can be found here. Okay? Yung pinag-intersectan nung dalawang, tama ba yun? May term ba talaga yung pinag-intersectan? Nung dalawang curve, okay? Again, sabi ko nga nung nakaraan, di ba? Yung papuntang heaven na curve, di ba? Yun yung supply curve. Yung papunta namang lupa, yan, yun naman yung demand curve. So according to economic theory, in a market economy, there is a single price which brings demand and supply into balance. And that is called what? The equilibrium price. So in this graph, the equilibrium price is 3 pesos. So paano natin siya interpret? Kapag daw 3 pesos ang fried chicken, the sellers or the producers are willing to supply 30 fried chicken, at tayo naman as consumers, we are willing to buy 30 fried chickens. Okay? When the quantity of goods supplied, remember, no? Tandaan nyo na when the quantity of goods supplied is equal to the quantity of goods demanded, the equilibrium price is reached. Okay? So eventually kasi, diba? Over time, the constant interaction of us, tayo buyers, and the sellers brings about a stable price for a product or service. And this is this 3 pesos. As consumers, no, we often not aware that we have the power regarding the price of things. So paano yun? If the majority of us, tayo as buyers, refuse to buy a particular product, no? Pag kunwari meron tayong isang produkto, tapos hindi nag-decide tayo na hindi na natin bilhin, the seller would rapidly reduce its price. So kasi collectively as consumers, we have influence over the market price. Hindi natin alam na we have the power, pero meron. Producers actually experiment with price until market equilibrium is reached. A price, again, so examine natin market equilibrium, it is a price where good sales are achieved, supply matches the demand, and the seller can still make a profit. So that is market equilibrium. So ngayon, ang ganda pakinggan, di ba? Pero there will be times as also that magkakaroon ng disequilibrium in the market. Yes, Wink, you got your point. Wait lang. Ingay ng pusa ako, sorry. So, kailan magkakaroon ng market disequilibrium? Okay? Market nabubulol ako, sorry. Market disequilibrium will happen when there will be or there is an excess in demand and there is an excess in supply. So paano 'yon? Consider this graph that I prepared. If the price goes up, nagpunta siya sa 4, okay? What will happen to the demand? It will goes down, tama? Kasi nga inversely related 'yon. What will happen to the quantity supplied? It will goes up dahil nga directly related si quantity supplied naman to price. Saan nga ngayon mapupunta yung points? Dito. This is for the quantity demanded. In case for the quantity supplied, dito naman mapupunta. Kapag tumaas from 3 to 4 yung presyo ng fried chicken. So ngayon, in this case, the quantity supplied for fried chicken is 40. Ito yon. And the quantity demanded for chicken, given na 4 pesos yung price, is 20. So, anong meron? If the points lie, ito yung technique, if the points lie sa ibabaw ng market equilibrium, there is a surplus. There is a surplus when, kailan nagkakaroon ng surplus? Kapag merong excess ng quantity supplied. So, the amount by which the quantity supplied exceeds the quantity demanded. If there is a surplus, suppliers must cut the price to sell more. That's the idea. Kung gustong maibalik ni seller sa equilibrium price. Pero in this case, tumaas yung presyo because of some factors, nagkaroon ngayon ng surplus. Gaano kalaki yung surplus? If they're only willing to buy 20 and sellers are willing to sell 40, gaano kalaki yung sobra? The answer is 20. Okay? So may sobrang 20 na fried chicken. So yun. If the quantity supplied exceeds the quantity demanded, merong surplus. Sir, ano naman ang mangyayari kung bumaba from 3 pesos to 2 pesos yung presyo ng fried chicken? What will happen? Okay? Ano naman yung mangyayari? Again, since directly related si quantity supplied kay price, gagaba yung quantity supplied. Tama? Mapupunta yan dito. Since inversely related naman si quantity demanded kay price, what will happen to the quantity demanded? The quantity demanded will increase. Dito naman mapupunta yung points. 2 pesos na yung price. We are willing to buy more. Pero si seller, they are gonna supply less. Kasi nga bumaba yung presyo. So ngayon, if the points lie below the market equilibrium, and when the amount by which the quantity demanded exceeds the quantity supplied, meron ngayong shortage. Okay? Meron ngayong shortage. Kailan ulit merong shortage? Kapag nag-exceed naman yung quantity demanded, we are willing to buy more. Pero the producers or sellers are gonna supply less. Meron ngayong kakulangan. So in this case, kapag naging 2 pesos yung presyo ng fried chicken, magkano ngayon yung kulang? We are willing to buy 40, pero they're gonna supply 20. So ilan? Meron ngayong 20 fried chicken na shortage. So again, mangyayari lang yung shortage kapag nag-exceed si quantity demanded kay quantity supplied. Okay? This equilibrium happens when there is a shortage and there is a surplus. Sir, is it possible that the equilibrium price can change as well? So if you have that question in your mind, the answer is yes. Okay? Pwedeng magbago yung market equilibrium price or the market, anong tawag nga ulit doon kanina kung natatandaan niyo pa? Ang tawag natin doon kanina, in other words, for market equilibrium, anong tawag doon? Market clearing price. Yes, you get that right. So, kailan ngayon magkakaroon ng pagbabago sa equilibrium price? Kailan ito magbabago? Kapag nag-shift either the supply curve o yung demand curve mismo. Again, anong magpapashift dito sa dalawang curve na to, sa dalawang graph? What will make the supply change and what will make the demand change again? Yung shifters of demand and supply. Kapag nag-shift, imagine this graph, kapag yan nag-shift to the left, mapupunta dito yung supply curve, di ba? Yun yung papunta sa langit. Yun, supply curve. Para di kayo malito, ito. Ngayon, kapag andito na yung supply curve, the equilibrium price will be found here. Dito na siya, magbabago na. Kapag naman yan nag-shift papunta dito to the right, yan, magpunta ulit langit, eto naman ngayon yung equilibrium price. At ganun din, kapag nag-shift din si demand curve, from here, mapupunta na dito. Okay, magbabago equilibrium price. Pag nag-shift to the right, ganun din. I hope you can still understand the drawing. Magbabago din yung equilibrium price. And again, kailan lang magbabago yon? Because of the shifters of demand and supply. So sir, is it possible that na maayos natin si market to fall again into equilibrium, into a perfect balance? Yes, we can do something. The government can do something, and at the same time, the sellers can do something, diba? Para maging balance ulit. And every product that is offered in the industry and in the market has equilibrium price. Okay? And when the economic forces meet each other at that point, a perfect balance can be made between the quantity supplied and quantity demanded. So, I hope you've learned something today about the market equilibrium. And again, para mas maintindihan nyo to, you have to master the law of supply and demand. And just for a review, no, quantity supplied and quantity demanded can only be changed if kung mababago yung presyo. Pag nagbago yung presyo, the quantity demanded and quantity supplied for a specific product changes. Ngayon, kapag nabago naman yung supply and change, ibig sabihin, nag-move yung supply curve and demand curve either to the right or to the left, ang nakapagbago doon ay yung determinants of supply and demand. Or yung determinants, ang sinasabi kong determinants, yun yung mga shifters. Okay? So, lagi yung tatandaan. The changes in demand and supply, yun yung movement ng curve. The changes in the quantity supplied and quantity demanded happens doon lang mismo sa curve. And it can only happen kapag nagbago yung presyo ng produkto. So, I hope you've learned something today. And that ends our session. So, huwag kayo malilito. I've already given you tips. And I hope you can apply this in your AP class or economics class.